Dakota asked Jamie Dornan to finalize his divorce from Amelia Warner before coming to see her. In a world full of lights and acting smiles, there are hidden corners that are never told. Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, two names associated with perfect images on screen, are stuck in an unnamed, unfulfilled relationship. Everything becomes more bitter when Dakota says the last words, "Let's finish this once and for all. Don't come back to me if you're still someone else's husband." Invisible wall. The hotel room in Paris smells of new wood and early rain. Jamie sits by the window, the light shining on his gloomy face. He has just finished a movie premiere, but his mind has no room for flashbulbs or applause. The phone vibrates. It is an anonymous text message. "We need to talk. See you tonight, the old place." D. Jamie takes a deep breath. The name, D, does not need to be written down. Dakota. The woman who had come into his life like a storm, upsetting everything he thought he had settled, including his marriage to Amelia Warner. They had fallen in love like a beautiful mistake. On the set of 50 Shades of Grey, the look in their eyes was not just an act, it was real. Jamie knew it, Dakota knew it. And Amelia, the always understanding wife, finally knew it. But no one said anything. They just played it quiet, like three characters in a classic tragedy, waiting for the final blow. The last question, the small bar on the corner of Rue de l'Abbé Grégoire, was the same. Dakota chose to sit in a hidden corner, where the lights would not touch the sadness in her eyes. Jamie arrived, his rain-soaked coat hung hastily on the back of a chair. "I'm here," he said, his voice low as if afraid to break the fragile space between them. Dakota didn't look straight, just swirled her glass of wine. "I don't want to go on like this, Jamie," she said. "I'm not waiting anymore," he frowned. "Waiting for what?" "Waiting for you to be free. Waiting for you to be done with her. Waiting for you to choose me." The air seemed to drain. Jamie swallowed. In the process. "The lawyer has 3 years, Jamie," Dakota interrupted. 3 years of hiding. 3 years of living in the public eye, being called the third person, the destroyer of other people's families. 3 years of waiting for promises that never came true. She looked straight at him, her eyes no longer trembling like before. "I love you, but I'm tired." The unsent letter. After the meeting, Jamie returned to the hotel, opened his laptop, but didn't type anything. He just stared at the blank screen, like he was looking into a shapeless future. He remembered the time Dakota had sent him a handwritten letter, not an email, not a text. The letter read, "If I have to go, please don't hold me back with promises. Hold me back with actions. If you can't, let me go as someone who loved you with all his heart." Jamie never replied to that letter. He kept it in a drawer, next to the unsigned divorce papers. He never dared to tell Amelia the truth, that his heart no longer belonged to the small house in London, no longer for family dinners or children's laughter. He was afraid of losing everything. But by holding on to everything, he was losing more. A cry in the night. One night, Jamie received a call from Dakota. She was crying, sobbing. "I just lost the baby, Jamie. I don't know who else to call." His world collapsed. She was pregnant, and she hadn't told him. Maybe because she wasn't sure he would choose her. Maybe because she didn't want to impose. Jamie drove through the night to where she lived, a house in the suburbs near Nice. When she arrived, she had stopped crying. Her face was pale, but her eyes were dry. "I'm sorry," Jamie said. "I should have been here. I should have known." Dakota just shook his head. "No, Jamie, I don't need an apology anymore. I just need you to be clear. He looked at her as if for the first time he had seen a woman who no longer needed love to survive, but only the bare minimum of respect, the right to choose, the right to walk away from a half-hearted relationship. The last conversation. The following month, Jamie went to the lawyer's house, asking for a divorce. Amelia was silent throughout the meeting. Then she simply said, "Jamie, I knew it all along. But I thought you would come back. Now I know, it's not fair to me or the kids." Jamie nodded, his heart aching. He never wanted to hurt anyone. But sometimes the cruelest thing was to wait. A few weeks later, when the paperwork was almost done, Jamie returned to Nice. He took everything with him, signed papers, sincere apologies, and a bare heart. But Dakota was no longer there. The neighbor said she had left, gone to Italy, leaving no address. On the table in the living room, there was only a letter. "Love is not a delay," Dakota's handwritten letter, in thin, shaky handwriting. "Jamie, I know you will come back one day. But I can't be the one waiting for you to finish everything. Love is not a delay, not a test of patience. I loved you truly. I waited, I believed. But I also have to live for myself, for the rest of my life that I have not yet lived. If one day, we meet again, no one belongs to anyone else, no one carries the debts of the past, maybe, we can laugh together. But for now, let me go. D. Jamie finished reading, did not cry, did not scream, just stood there, as if the wind blew through her heart. Years later, time passed. Jamie continued to act, received awards, walked on stage with a perfect smile. But his eyes always carried a scratch that only one person could see. In an interview, when asked, "What do you regret most in life?" Jamie looked straight into the camera, without hesitation. "I regret letting a woman go. When all she needed was a decisiveness from me." The interviewer asked, "If she were watching, what would you say?" Jamie smiled sadly. "It's just, you were right, and I'm always the one who's late."